thank you for joining me today, and in today's video I'm using my Nester box kit, which uses Simple Stories Heart Eyes collection. This is a kit that Jackie Ashton and I have put together with 6 classes. I'll link it down below in the description box. I've mentioned it in a previous video, but it's a fantastic kit and class if you're interested. So first of all, I'm using the same technique that I've used in a video last week, where I've used an 8.5 inch circle template to draw off the edge of my page, and now I'm using my Tim Holtz Distress Oxide to scrape the ink around and colour in that circle. I've used dried marigold because it goes really nicely with that collection. I'm now using my Nuvo crystal drops in mustard gold to create the stripes going across this circle. And if you recognise this design, it was inspired by a Vicky Bootin print shop paper. You'll know the one I mean if you know her collection. It's a teal blue circle with black lines going over it with splatters. So now I'm just using the end of the nozzle to do sort of flattish circles of the Nuvo crystal drops all around this inked circle. And then once that's done, I shall come in with a pearlescent watercolour in a hot pink, which again is the colours of the Heart Eyes collection, and just splatter that over and then add some water as well just to oxidise that ink nicely, and then I can pop that to one side to dry. And as I've been doing recently, I am doing some controlled splatters here just to get some bigger drops using my paintbrush, and here I am with the water. So now that's dry, you can see I've turned it around so that the circle is on the other side, and I'm just tearing a very thin strip of this stripy paper to adhere down the right hand side of the layout. It's just a very thin strip, but I think that provides a really nice balance against the heavy circle being on the left hand side of the page. So just ruffling up the edges ever so slightly and then sticking down the very edge of that with my wet glue, and that will go all the way down the right hand side of the page just like that. So now that's down, I want to start matting my photo and then working on my embellishments. So I'd already chosen this paper out for matting the photo because I just think it works really nicely. It's Amelia's 2nd birthday party and she's just opening one of her presents. She's wearing a bright pink top, so I thought this pink and orange paper would go really nicely, and that's the reason I chose the marigold ink, because it goes nicely with the orange on this paper as well. So just trimming that very closely to the edges of the photo, and then that will go down on the edge of the circle just like that. So I wanted to bring in this scalloped border that's on the 12x12 sticker sheet. I thought that would work really nicely as a ledge to hold the photo. And this word celebrate that's in the foam stickers, because obviously it's her birthday, so I thought celebrate would be nice. And I love this stripy paper. Jackie used it in one of her classes in our Nest box kit, and I've been excited to use it myself. So just using a tiny strip along the bottom of the photo on top of that scalloped stripe, just to bring some of those colours in really. And I love the way that looks. So just gluing that down. And now ruffling up the edges of the photo mat before sticking that down. Just using my fingernails because I couldn't really be bothered to reach for my distress tool. I am very lazy sometimes when I'm scrapping. It's silly. So now I'm going to stick that title down, just overlapping the photo. There's a nice bit of blank space there on the photo, so it works out very well. And then using one of the JD 3D print wooden arrows that are new to Hey Little Magpie, and starting to build up an embellishment cluster in the bottom left-hand corner. I love that clipboard that says I heart you, so that's going down. And then this lovely heart, which is throughout the collection. You've got it on the pattern papers and in the sticker sheet and the ephemera. This star works really nicely. It's a flare badge from Hey Little Magpie. So if you're looking for flare, that's where you can find that. So now I'm pulling out the ephemera pieces to see what else I can add from that pack. And I find these little I don't really know what to call them, faces with hearts around them. I suppose they're little emojis in pink. It's not something I would normally use on a layout, but I was determined to give it a go, and they do look quite cute actually, so I end up with 2 of those on my layout. Now coming back to the sticker sheet, just to see if there are any of these word stickers that I can add, and straight away I find one that says "You make me happy," which fits perfectly underneath that arrow, and then the second one says "Sugar Pie Honey Bunch," and I can't really think of any other photo that I would use it on other than the one of Amelia when she was little, so that works nicely there. Next it's this little present with a heart tag on it, and that works perfectly because it's her birthday and she's opening a present. And then one of the tickets I'd hand cut from one of the pattern papers, the one with all the tickets all over it. It's just a half ticket, and that just nestles in next to that "I love you" clipboard. So just going around and gluing everything down with my wet glue. It gives it extra dimension when you do this. You can pull up the edges and things. And now I'm going to come in with my Bubblegum Blush Nuvo crystal drops and just add some dots all around the page. It's a very subtle colour, works really nicely with these papers, and just adds a bit more dimension and something else for the eye to catch as you look around the page. So just adding not too many and just keeping them close to the photo and the clusters. And now I want to add something to the right hand side of the photo, so I'm cutting out one of these cards from one of the papers. Can't decide where to put it, so in the end I trim the bit off past that flag so that I can use that other piece on another layout, and that just nestles in next to Amelia, and that's actually where I'm going to have my journaling. Don't have a lot to say about this photo because it's just her opening a present, and we've got several photos from this event which I'll be scrapping, so just add that. And then adding a ticket, this pink ticket from the 12 by 12 sticker sheet. So then I decide that I need a couple more of the Bubblegum Blush, was it? Yeah, Bubblegum Blush Nuvo crystal drops. And then adding my journaling, and it simply says opening presents on your 2nd birthday, because that's all I need to say. So I've handwritten the date on a scrap piece of card, and now I'm cutting that out and just creating a banner, a fishtail banner at the end of it, and then I'll nestle that underneath the flare badge. Just have trying it in a few different places, but decide that this is the best place. Just follow the lines of all those other strips that I've got underneath the photo there. So I managed to smudge one of the dots, so just adding that back in, and then another little black and white striped heart. And finally I'm coming in with a technique that I've been using quite a lot recently in my videos, and just adding some plus signs to bring that black in and around the photo. So just 1, 2, 3, 4 clusters of plus signs, and that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed this. As I say, the nest box details and class information will be in the description box down below. I'd love it if you give my video a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos. It really does help me so very much. And other than that, I shall see you very soon. Thanks again. Bye.